How to identify the ideal B2B customer. Hey there, our awesome viewers. Welcome back to our channel where we share amazing tips and tricks for growing your business. In today's video, we're diving into a topic that every B2B entrepreneur needs to master: how to identify the ideal B2B customer. So grab your notepads and let's get started. Now, before we jump right into the nitty-gritty details, let's take a moment to understand the importance of finding the perfect B2B customer. You see, my friends, the backbone of any successful business is a strong customer base. And in the world of B2B, it's crucial to find customers who not only need your product or service, but can also provide long-term value and partnership opportunities. So, how do we go about identifying these ideal B2B customers? Well, fear not, because we've got a bunch of practical tips and strategies that will help you hit the jackpot. You know, your market should be more focused, but where do you start? Once you've realized that a narrow target market is appropriate, it's time to choose your own. It's likely that, as usual, you serve a wide market segment. For example, let's talk about a photographer. He can take orders for weddings, corporate shootings, photojournalism, and family portraits. These are extremely different market segments. The best way to determine your ideal target market is to apply the PVP index and rate each market segment you operate in on a scale from 0 to 10. Self-realization. How much do you enjoy working with this type of client? Sometimes we work with clients of the troublemaker type just for the money. Here you need to assess how much you enjoy working with this market segment. Value to the market. How much is this market segment willing to pay for your work? Are they willing to pay for your work? Profitability. How profitable is your work for this market segment? Sometimes even when you charge a high price for your work, it turns out to be unprofitable or even unprofitable in a quantitative terms. Remember, the main thing is not the volume of turnover, but the volume of profit. In the case of our photographer, his VP index is as follows. The ideal clients for this photographer are people who need family portraits. They are fun and profitable, have the most value, and pay the best. There is probably an ideal market segment. This doesn't mean you can't take on work outside of your ideal target market. However, try to focus all your marketing efforts on the ideal market segment. You need to narrow your specialization to the level of focus on the leather that cuts the steel. Once you have a dominant position in this market segment, you can move on to the next ones. If we take an overly broad scope from the start and focus on a long list of market segments, our marketing efforts will be in vain. What is our ideal target market? The smallest details are important: gender, age, and location. Do you have any relevant photos? If so, cut or print them out to reflect on and answer the following questions. What makes them wake up at night? What makes their stomach turn? And why can they close their eyes and stare at the ceiling? What are they afraid of? What they angry about? And many other questions. These questions are not theoretical or overwhelming. They are the key to your success. If you can't get into the minds of your potential customers, all your other marketing efforts will be in vain, no matter how hard you work. If you don't represent your target market yourself, spend the vast majority of your initial marketing efforts on in-depth research, surveys, and thoroughly learning about your target market. Well, that's a wrap up for today's video, my awesome peeps. I truly hope you found these tips helpful in identifying your ideal B2B customers. If you have any questions or additional strategies you'd like to share, please leave a comment below and let's dive into a lively discussion. And as always, hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell so you never miss out on our future epic content. Until next time, keep hustling and keep growing your business. Take care and bye-bye.